Hi everyone, McBeard here, back with another deck guide for you. Another brew of mine. I put together another deck that I'm very sorry it has Nova in it. So you can turn off the video right now if you don't like it. I understand. But really the goal of this deck was to find more decks to use Telekinesis because I like this card. I think this card is great. I crafted the premium of the card pretty much right away. It's Witcher 2 Triss. I like that. And Triss into Reconnaissance is really good. But in this deck, it actually has multiple applications because this is a Spell-A-Tel deck. And it's a Nova variant because, I'll be honest, guys, the reason why I like Nova so much is not because you play Nova at the end of the game and you win. It's because it offers you a very diverse bronze core, and it challenges you to build a bronze core that's efficient, that can make use of more than just 5 different bronze units, and sometimes mix in some specials and some tutors, and I just like the gameplay more. That's just the way it is for me in Nova. It's too bad that the only way that Nova decks can be really powerful is by all winning the same way. I do understand that, but it doesn't change the fact that building a bronze core, building like a diverse 8 bronze core, is, for me as a deck builder, that's more exciting for me. So I tend to explore these decks because they're more fun for me. The gameplay is more varied, and you can win in a lot of different ways. And you know, this deck really shifts gears. I like that too. But it's a Nova deck, so what can I say? I've seen the comments. I've seen the comments about Nova. I do understand. Next deck I post will not be a Nova deck, but this one is. So, but let's just kind of talk about this deck. Let's get past that part. This is a Spell-A-Tel deck with using Telekinesis. I call it Spell-A-Telekinesis. And it uses Triss as an extra spell for an extra boost on your sentry, Spell-A-Tel style. An extra bit of removal if you need it, Spell-A-Tel style. And just generally being a very strong card with Roach, opening up and using that Reconnaissance is also, or the extra Mahakamail, can be great for tempo. Now, I used to play a Spell-A-Tel deck way back called Drunken Elves that used the Mahakamail and the Farseer, so this is kind of a revisiting of that. Ithlin is the double zap always, and you just want to make sure that you always have, when I say the zap, of course, I'm talking about Elzar's Thunder. Make sure you always have one in the deck, and try to get as much value from her as possible. Sometimes the only zap you have is Ithlin zap. If you have to use Ithlin to zap one thing, it sucks, but at least you put 2 Thunders in the graveyard for your Sages later. So sometimes you have to do that, and it feels bad, but sometimes those decisions happen in card games. Nova, you know what this does, 22 points at the end of the game. Royal Decree secures that, also secures Ithlin when you need the double zap, secures Triss when you need to shift in some way. Triss does it all, really. She does it all. Best girl. Yavin, of course, because this is Gwent, you do need a spy on hand to counter spy. Sometimes in blue coin situations, to avoid being completely run over, you just need the spy. It just really feels like a necessary card to be in most decks. I'm still haven't really cracked the code on a deck that could get away without using a spy ever. And, you know, it's a little bit beyond my research capabilities at this time. So I just kind of play it safe, put the spy in the deck. Roach comes out with the gold. Alzar's pulls your highest. Marching Orders pulls your lowest. Artifact Compression deals with really nasty threats that are going to bother you later, like your Ronvids, your giant Genja Frets or Great Swords, Axeman or Darren, things like that. Also, it takes a lot of points off the board. This used to be Scorch. It's hard to run Scorch in Farseers and buffs. It just is, it's awkward and it's clunky, and even though 2 Scorches can be great with Ethna, I find that Artifact Compression is just the safer way to go. And it offers its own benefits as well. And Mandrake because, you know, you don't want to just instantly lose to Imlerith Sabbath, and there's a lot of good things to Mandrake. So I find that this card, being able to be played twice at least, generally is a fine piece to have in your deck anyway. It's just, this deck is very safe and secure. It's a very, very control-y deck. Now, it doesn't control as well as Alchemy, but I think that this still can be a very good control deck. Bronze Core Farseers are great with Mahakamails. Just adds that extra push every turn. Your Mahakamails coming out from Elven Mercenary. It becomes a 15-point play with the boost from the Farseer. They're always being boosted if you have a sentry in your hand. You know, the old style, the ancient technique, right? Of Spell-A-Tel. So being able to play Farseer and Double Thana Sentries together again is nice. It's harder to get them in your hand, however, because this is a Nova deck. So the Farseers do have the Mahakamails to kind of help on a regular boost. Elven Scout can sometimes pull, you know, all sorts of buff units. Hawker supports, Varied Neophytes, the Hawker Healers. There's lots of boost cards that the Scouts can pull out as well. So even if you don't have a Sentry in your hand, your Farseer should be okay. Your Sentry you play at the end of the game, they sometimes, you know, they'll hit at least like 11 or 12 on a normal game where things go well. And, you know, they don't have to be like the crazy cards they used to be, because you have Nova to back you up as well. In fact, you may end up playing these guys a little earlier in the game because they will still provide you value on the board and they're still threatening. But they are kind of easy to deal with in that Mandrake completely destroys them. Anything that resets boost destroys them. They tend to be highly scorchable cards. So, you know, they're still okay to play. The Sage is great. The Sage can be another Mahakamail or another Zap. This card is so damn good with Spell-A-Tele, and I think it's one of my favorite additions to the deck over the last like couple of card packs. Generally, Elven Mercenary does what she always does. You know, she's looking for reconnaissance, she's looking for zaps, she's looking for ails. In this deck, you will not be guaranteed all the time what you'll see from your Elven Mercenary, but you have to kind of just play it out, play the odds, go for the sure things first, and try to thin your deck as much as you possibly can, and then just kind of, you know, roll with it. Don't take any unnecessary risks with the Merc, but if you know you're likely to get a zap and you need it and you have no other way of getting a zap, you might just try to kind of pray for that one. Elven Scout you're looking for boost units generally if you have a Farseer on your board, and your Alzur's Thunder is your removal, your Mahakamail is your tempo, Reconnaissance is also ensuring that you can get all the cards you need to thin out of your deck to make your draws premium. Why this really works as a Ciri Nova deck is because you are thinning your deck a lot. You're tutoring out your spells. You are pulling out Roach. You're pulling out Alzur's, pulls out the high unit. Marching Orders pulls the low unit. Reconnaissance, Triss Reconnaissance. You're getting a lot of cards out of your deck. So it's really thin. It's fairly efficient. It controls really, really well. It does have some pretty good matchups, and I'd like to show you one of them. So here's some gameplay for you. Hope you enjoy. Thanks so much for watching, everyone.
There will be no negotiation.
I once lopped off 3 heads with 1 blow.
Not afraid? You should be.
Nigh is the time of the white frost and white light.
All right, hopefully we can get a recon from this or this to get the Sage to do some extra zaps, because we don't really have the option to do it any other way. So that's too bad. I would like to play some Moonlight, maybe. Easy game, yeah. We just play together, Sound for All. Send me an invite. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, I tend to not take those all the time when I'm streaming, but it was, yeah, you beat me with the, Elder deck? Yeah, you stomped all over me in that game. I had the dead Royal Decree in my hand, unfortunately. I might have been able to pull that one out. I like the list. The tempo seemed really good in that list. I think the Moonlight decks are actually like starting to become a thing here. So how do we want to play this here? With no sages, but potentially 2 sages. I think it's just we can 100% deal with almost all of the great swords that come up. So there's 2 great swords, and then there's the however many Freyas are in here.
Abort!
Hi-ho. Hi-ho.
The reason why I like this deck so much and why I want this deck to work is because this deck can shift gears. If this deck is against engine, it's ultra control. If this deck is against tempo, it focuses more on the ales and does its own tempo. And I like that. Maybe I should have taken the Farseer there.
The storm is coming. Let's enjoy the weather while we still can.
I must re-examine the manuscripts.
How am I going to get that? I think I may have to play Athena into Recon now. But I get the Sage 100% at least. And it's also an engine deck, so it does, you know, it does all three things pretty well, but it's not like as good as Deathwish. It doesn't do it as well as Deathwish. Deathwish can control enough, and then, like, the thing is, like, an opponent's engines for me are very dangerous. I need to control them. Deathwish doesn't need to control every engine. 2-0 time? I mean, it's possible, but as soon as a Greatsword comes out that I don't think I can deal with, I probably will pass, but I'm not sure. Triss, I have Triss here. This is pretty good.
Fear nothing.
If I get maybe an archer, it's okay.
Only death here for Dwan.
No.
Peace with humans? I buy that.
Buy this. Yeah, so we get light. We do a Triss Thunder for the next thing to remove. And then we have to get the Thunder off the elf, which we would also... It's possible we don't get it. So we do have 2 more answers, 2 more quick answers. Assuming there aren't any specials in my opponent's hand, which clog it up. The cool thing about Triss Telekinesis is that unlike, like, Aglace is worse when your opponent doesn't play specials, but Triss is better when your opponent doesn't play specials. So, like, it's cool for that reason. Maybe I just want to play Ale here. It's always evens for us, right? We're always passing on evens, so that's good. If Artifact Compression would go onto this guy for sure.
Everything all right?
This might be a mistake. We shall see. This might be a mistake. There goes my 2-0. You think so? You don't think I have a chance here? I need more faith. I need more faith from my people, Dead Symbol. You gotta be like, McBeard, you got this.
Just great.
No, you can't. You need to use all your reses. All your damn reses. I need to see them all.
Bow before modern Freya.
I once lopped off 3 heads with 1 blow.
I respect nothing human.
Pull the Farseer out right now. And then play Mandrake also, just for one more. Just for one more, I want to push a little bit harder here. Whoa!
We were not the ones to stop this.
Why did I pick that card? Yeah, Zoodleric though, right? Well, I forgot I had Yavin in this deck. Whoopsie. What happened here? You're a cynic. Sorry, McVie. Have you downloaded Bloodborne yet? Oh, hey, you know what? I'll do that right now. Well, no, I probably shouldn't do that while I'm streaming. I know download and upload isn't really the same thing, but All right, well, he went down a card. He didn't have Udo or counter here, so this is probably fine. It's probably fine. Considering our cards, we might be okay here. Sage is a zap, so we want to keep that. Is Mandrake is legit, right? Yeah. It's you know what I thought about it. I'm like, is this Farseer really going to grow and be threatening, or is it going to be better just to like compress like a greatsword or something in their last ditch attempt to actually do something? Considering I also have a zap and a Mandrake. I think we just shut it down.
Won't pay us in gold, pay us in blood.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's Mandrake, so we don't have to worry about anything there.
Kayam!
It's going to be a good Mandrake. Yeah, it is. It is. I'll wait for it to grow a bit more. There's no need to do it right now. Patience, patience, patience.
May Modron Freya watch us and keep us.
So this is going to be Genja, I bet.
Wilhelm, you're daft.
I would have lost that bet. I would have lost that bet. So Genja's not coming back, is what I understand here.
Kayam!
Patience is not a virtue I am known to have. I'm known to have it. Oh, Genja is coming back. Decoy, of course. The ancient technique.
What do you need?
Kills both the skulls. Very good. Good combo, actually. Very good combo. Genja's skulls. Genja's skulls. Why do I not see that very often? It's gonna be a close one, I think. Fairly close.
That might even be amusing.
Yeah, that might seal the deal for us, my friends. That might seal the deal for us.
Don't make me laugh.
Hail Mary here that he doesn't have a Scorch. If his Scorch was dead, I'll feel really stupid here. Okay. Okay, so we're good then? We're fine now.
Hen Ikea, Ted Dayred is nigh.
We okay. We okay. That was a good game. I will probably post that game. I think that game was pretty much like complete shutdown gameplay. When it works, the tempo you need to maybe pull out a win. Like, I think that was probably like a fair. I mean, the good news is I had my spy there and he didn't. So I mean, like, let's not ignore that. I won't ignore that. But I think it was probably like, if I was showcasing this deck, I think that game went like how they should go.